proceed. That means they sold something. They got the money. It's not a promissory note. It's they got the money. So if they got the money, where did they pay the money to? And when did the money disappear? Where was the money supposed to go to? And so it didn't go here. Once it got here, it just vamoosed. It just disappeared. Money don't just disappear. Not even a kobo can just disappear. No money just disappear. But we all know that it's gone. It's gone. Just for our own entertainment. And it is sad that they have the population of people who have no idea what it means to have 210 trillion stolen from your system. Because if it is not in the account, it is stolen. You can't hide. You can't hide 210 trillion. It's gone, 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 gone. And those who took it over the years, they are still in government all over the place. So it's unfortunate. In Jigawa State is considered as one of the poorest states in Nigeria. They said their state governor just invested 1.8 billion naira on vehicles for himself and his wife's convoys. Àwọn olórí burúkú ọ̀tá ajé. Those 4 vehicles are what the Jigawa people paid 1.8 billion naira for. Those 4 vehicles. And that is what majority of them actually does with their allocations anyway. You know? Yeah, irreconcilable. I think that's what the term is in accounting. Once you begin to add the numbers together, it doesn't just disappear. It doesn't just go away. You don't just cancel 2 or 100 and say, oh, I'll just cancel this 200. You don't cancel anything like, no. At least I did accounting myself. I did accounting in secondary school. So to some extent, we had to like work on this. What did they call that thing again? Profit and loss account, balance sheet, where you have to place your, you know. So people who actually became accountants working for a country, you can trace any money, but corruption will make you become blind. Sorry, is this one 2 or 7? I'll be 5. No, it's 1. Meanwhile, it is 7. So that is what corruption does. Corruption blinds you. Sorry, I don't get. Is that 1.7 trillion? I'll be 17 trillion. No, it's 17 trillion, but just put dots and say 1.7 trillion. Okay. This is gonna be a tough one, though. But we'll work it out, sir. We'll work it out. Baba, they submitted the audited report of NNPC, and a committee in National Assembly discovered the discrepancies, and they pointed it out. It all came to the total of 210 trillion naira. Do you think a whole country can't trace where that money goes? Like, anyway, we'll leave that again. So I said the Jigawans are funding the lifestyle of their criminal governor and his wife. Even the nurses in Jigawa themselves right now are on strike because of poor pay. I don't know if you do know that the what they call them, NDA, no, NMA, Nigerian Medical Association. I don't know. I think they are on strike. So some of them went about to force or enforce compliance because they've done tools now for the past 4 days, asking Kolu to attend to their demands. And until that happens, they won't work. I don't know how many of you have been to government hospitals across Nigeria. Maybe you can share your own personal experiences, right? For some, in Port Harcourt and a part of Enugu, this was what they experienced.
The monitoring team is at Professor Kelsey Harrison Hospital in Port Harcourt. This is maternity ward, Daddy? Yes, maternity ward. As you can see, it's total compliance. All the patients have been discharged. No nurse on duty. Everyone is at home. You can see the modern facilities lying fallow here because there are no nurses. Nursing power. Welcome. This is day one, strike day one. Monitoring team is active.
Is she a nurse? I know that she's a technician. Who is that? Who is the nurse here again? This one is the. Of the she's a nurse. Go base with the nurse. Go base with the mother. Go base with the mother. Can you hear me? You are not on this. What are you doing here? If you have a patient, you shouldn't be around. Let another person.
You get Hippocratic oath of doctors. I don't know if nurses also swear to that. Okay, but Baba, if you hear the song, another challenge you. Another challenge you, double challenge you. Your nurses don't they get challenges. Hardly would you hear the nurses say they get challenges. So now that the Nigerian nurses don't they get challenges, maybe say more. They have to down tools. Good luck to all of you that would have an appointment with the challenged nurses or beg Kolu to pay them. You know, they should pay them. Kolu is borrowing and borrowing. And it has now come to everyone's notice that Kolu has actually borrowed more. By the time Kolu receives the $21 billion, 2.2 billion euros, 15 billion Japanese yen, 63 million euros, which is a grant, 780 billion naira bond, which is to pay pensioners. Now they are actually borrowing to pay salaries and pay pensioners. They are borrowing to fund their budget, which mostly is on recurrent expenditures, more or less like money for for their own lifestyles, like nice cars, latest cars, new jets, and then maybe new buildings. So they now said that Tinubu has borrowed more than what Bukwari borrowed in 8 years. He has borrowed that in 2 years. Isaac is one of those that are like, or more. By the time Tinubu is done with you, Nigeria's national debt will be after 999 trillion. Waiting day after 999 trillion. Zillion. I've been a dillion. I'll go and look it up. Una go soon cross that threshold soon when Kolu is done. Is building the future for you according to an average mentally deranged Ronuku that is a sewage dweller, right? Here, Isaac.
Late President Buhari didn't remove subsidy on petrol, on diesel, and he still didn't borrow as much as this present APC government are borrowing. Late President Buhari didn't remove subsidy on NEPA, on electricity. He still didn't borrow as much as this government, as much as they are borrowing right now. Late President Buhari he was pushing naira, he was pushing dollars, naira, pegged it, paying a lot of money according to you guys to sustain 650. You guys came and said, no, we can't cushion nothing, everything must go. How come you are now borrowing so much? Where is the borrowing going? Okay, you claim you are giving states more money. How are you monitoring those states if they are using the money well? So many states up till now, they are still not paying, they are still paying 35,000 minimum, not minimum wage. With all this borrowing you are borrowing. This is weird. Now you have more money from cushion of dollars, you have more money from NEPA subsidy, for electricity subsidy, you have more money from petrol subsidy. You are still borrowing, and the borrow, we cannot see the money on our streets. You guys, not choking, not to choke us remaining. Not to choke us. President Tinubu, remember, you said no suffocation. Don't suffocate my people. Now this is choking. This borrowing is too much. Where is the money going? All the federal roads are very bad. All the federal roads, as we speak today, you can't drive from one state to another without visiting a mechanic. So where is this borrowing going? You said you are giving states more money, but who is monitoring the states? Waladeo, I don't understand.
Gidigon. It is called Tifnubunomic. You know, so I found it is a quadrillion. So Nigeria's debt may cross 1 quadrillion by 2031. Yeah. And it's a very, a good observation when Isaac said, how did they do it that when they are borrowing to back your naira, to back your subsidy and all that, right? How come now that they are not paying subsidy, not paying subsidy on education? They've removed subsidy on petrol, removed subsidy on education, removed subsidy on, what's the other one? Electricity. Removed, where is the money? Why do they have to borrow that much again if you are making so much money? Because it's a lie. Nigeria is in red when it comes to foreign direct investment. Borrowing money is not investment. I've said that many times on my Egun's Diary Political. I have proven that to you many times on this platform as well. I will keep saying it. Going about to go and borrow money and then or raise bonds where people are promised about 30% or 35% return on their bond, Nigeria bond, free money after 1 year. And then you say, oh, it's oversubscribed. We wanted to raise 700 billion. We have now raised 1.8 trillion naira. Alore say we go see a madman's leg where you no go like one chopper. Don't worry, you understand if you're not Yoruba. It's like a fool. Who will see a fool and not want to take advantage of a fool? But that's not investment. That is not investment. It is not. So Tifnubunomic is the reason why they will tell you everything is getting better, everything is fine. And then you'll be wondering, I don't understand. No, you are not to understand. Where is the money? Where is the money they save from all of that? Anyway, we'll leave that and go to another thing. And that's why this Abduningi was all out there on the floor saying, how can you just kind of like want us to approve all this money where you can't even explain to us what you are using the money for? His voice never counted. At least it was heard.
We all represent constituencies. We need to go home and say, this is how these monies, when borrowed, will impact in either security, what amount in agriculture. When it comes to states, let's know how much goes into this state. President, I listened to the committee presentation and I listened to Senator Olamileko, the chairman of appropriation. First and foremost, Mr. President, this has to do with our collective inheritance. This is a loan that my generation and generation yet unborn will be saddled to payment or to paying. Yes, this is a proposed payment plan, borrowing plan, but in this document, there is no indication of how these loans will be paid. That is one. Secondly, if you look at the committee's report, on page 3, number 1, that the loan shall specify the purpose of which the borrowing is intended, which shall only be a long-term capital expenditure and human capital development. Going further on page 8, Mr. President, you will now take number 5 under the table. Most NGOs are unable to implement their capital projects effectively due to long delays in funding disbursement. The loans will go a long way to addressing this challenge. Inclusion of this project in the National External Borrowing Plan will enable financial closure and timely implementation. This is not specified. Which MDS and how much does each one cost? We all represent constituencies.
The guy that is pointing all of that out is not doing it because he loves Nigeria so much and he loves his people. But there are some certain things that you are going to see and privileged to actually see. That sometimes, Baba, you feel they think and you won't even know that you're actually like thinking out aloud. Like, what? Okay, maybe because I'm a Yoruba man, that's how I'm going to be reacting. Because when you look at hey, yeah, you get. So the guy is just like, this country is done for, man, and it is hopeless too. It is an hopeless situation. So the people themselves who are going to be saddled with the responsibility of repayment of this loan, when Tifnubu and his gang are long gone, Bokwari is dead now. But everything he did continued to live after him. People continue to still pay the price of Bokwari's destructive regime. So by the time Kolu is gone, those who are going to be paying this back are no other than those of you who are going to be alive. Normally, you see, when you find yourself in a pit or in a hole, the ideal thing is to stop digging. But these criminals believe that they have their nest elsewhere. They are like birds who goes to the graveyards to pick, or goes to the field to pick, grass and all that. They have their nest elsewhere where they are keeping all their treasure, their family, everything they treasure, everything they love. It is not Nigeria. No, it's not. You can't hate your country that much if there was a country at all, and or a country in the first place. You know. Well, you've heard about well, we've been following this drama of street name change and all that, or street renaming in Lagos and all that, and it's going to continue to grow as you get closer to their 2027 charade. The bigotry, the tribalism, those who are amplifying them, they are going